Okay, and we are live, it says. Hello,
Hello, everyone.
everybody. Our amazing treasure fam. How are you all tonight? So good to be back with you all. Um, oh, wait. Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
Yeah.
I I had muted it, but then when I went back, I guess I accidentally hit it. We'll blame it on Bella. So but yes, treasure fam, we are excited and so happy to be back with you all tonight. I am really looking forward to tonight's interview, and I know I say that every week, but this guest is new to the community. Definitely new to us. The only reason I got to know her is because I'm envious of her. Clicker Bob liked her better, I guess. Yeah.
Ain't bad idea, lab.
I'll blame that on Rick because I was at a doctor's appointment with him.
Hey, Bill.
So,
Hey, really, Grat.
but guys, let's say our hellos. Rick is saying hello to everybody. Thank you, Papa Roush, for the $2.
Hey,
We always
CAE
run
and Jay.
our goals. We've set it for 5 goals of any
Hey,
amount.
Ronnie Adventures.
Because like I said last week, guys, this is going to be a rough couple of weeks. So we are counting on our YouTube to help kind of take up the difference here in the incomes. But anyway,
hey, Marianne.
But Rick is saying hi, Ron E. Hi, honey. I seen you earlier, Papa Roush. You know I love you, and I do have the redirect.
Hey, Mr. Curly.
So that when we're done here, when I click end live, it'll take you all directly over to Papa Roush's. So you know he's such a sweetheart. I love him to death. Dropped and forgotten. Hello. I'm enjoying it. CAENJ
Hey,
needs a blue jacket. Can't have nobody getting cold in this weather. And what we do is we give everybody a jacket. If we can trust you, and I've heard on good word that I can trust you. That way we can check out everybody's channel. And what that does, that helps the whole community grow. And that's what we're about, is supporting each other and being there for each other. So yeah, really, rat. Like I said every week, that's my favorite rat. The only rat I'll allow in my house. Mary Ann, hello, honey. It's so good to see you. Mr. Tully, Beth. I don't know if you've gotten your painting yet or not, honey. Oh, do you know who this guy right here is? Mr. J. Higley. If I'm not mistaken, that's Pappy the Pod Destroyer himself.
Hey, Stephanie.
And there's
hey, Alamo City Stello.
Hey, look, does that look a little better? Dropped and forgotten. Thank you so much for that $2. Totally appreciate that. Stephanie is back
Jay
with
Higgins.
us. Hello. Higley. Alamo City Cello. Can we please talk about Burt Reynolds now? I don't know. That would be a whole show within itself. Okay, that would be a lot of the likes, the dislikes, the befores, the later ons. Yeah. So yeah, that would be a whole show within itself. Buffering bad tonight, hard to keep up. I understand that, Beth, because we do sometimes be out here in the country. Weather plays a trick. Yeah, that Pappy himself. So glad to see you all. Stephanie, we're doing good, honey. Doing good. I got it. We were out of town and it was at the post office. Okay, good. I'm always worried about shipping them and all that good stuff. So anyway, guys, tonight, yes, look out. I am talking and pushing buttons at the same time. tonight we have a newcomer, like I said, to our community, and apparently to the whole YouTube situation, or the whole
Hey,
YouTube family.
Lucinda.
Guys, detecting Saga, Miss Sarah. I got to know her because we were both itching for the same prize. And I am happy to say that she got Riddle Rats detectors giveaway. But anyway, guys, she is sitting at 70 subscribers. And like I said, she's new to the channel. And I want each one of us to reach out to her, show her some love, hit that button, hit the subscribe button, hit the all notifications so that you will know when she puts out another video, and leave her a comment so that we make sure that that subscription sticks. Okay? Because we are all about helping not just the community grow, but helping each other grow. And so, and I guarantee you that anybody in this community will say, if you have any questions or need any help with anything, reach out. Some of us will help you to the best of our abilities. My abilities are about like this, but I probably know somebody that would know better. But anyway, guys, I am going to bring up this sweet person. And like I said, I am getting ready to know her more, get to know her more, and learn more about her.
Hey,
Sorry, just brushed my
Sebastian.
teeth and can't do a thing with them. Sebastian, hello, and welcome back. Guys, let's all give a big, warm Treasure Fam welcome to Miss Sarah, detecting Saga.
Hello.
So, hello. How are you?
Good. As you say, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Right?
hello. Right.
Hello,
right.
hello. Yes, hello. Thank you for having me here. Really appreciate it.
We're and like I said, we are so happy to get to know you, and I have to be a little bit on the bias side, especially supporting another female in this hobby.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you don't see a lot of. And I saw a thing in here, dropped and forgotten, said they just subbed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey to all, Stephanie waving hi. Okay, Relic Rat says, ask her if she was from Savannah, Georgia. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I asked. I asked her about that one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there was I'm pretty sure it was in Dirt Clawed Metal Detecting's one of the videos I attended in the live chats there. Relic Rat was there, and he saw my name and said, "What's the SAGA? Like, what does that stand for?" And he said, "Is that Savannah, Georgia?" And I thought that was pretty brilliant. If I lived in Savannah, Georgia, that would have been awesome. But no, it stands for, it's the first two letters of my first name and then the first two of my last. So that's why the G is capital. Just a little playful thing there. But yes, if you want to call it Savannah, Georgia, that's fine too. I'm okay with that.
See, I've got a bad habit of calling people by their channel name because I am bad with people's names and remembering names and stuff. But sometimes their name just suits them, and it's like Relic Rat. I just love teasing him and calling him Rat.
Yes. Yes, I'm also okay with Saga. I think that I like being called Saga in this little group. Makes me feel kind of like a part of stuff. So I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
Anytime you get tagged with a nickname or something like that, like him calling you Savannah, you feel more accepted and more welcomed in.
Exactly. Yep. So Anything you want to call me is fine, really.
Oh, now, Lucinda, we're going to fight over this one, Lucinda.
What?
She's eating ribs and pinky typing.
Oh.
Okay, she's eating ribs. Colonel H is in the house.
Hey,
Kenneth
Colonel.
Bird.
Hey, Kenneth Bird.
Like I said, Sarah, of course, when I first met or heard of you winning the detector.
Oh yeah.
And if anybody asks, that's how I got to know her. Everybody knows that Rat was giving away a detector, and as soon as he hit his
Pumpkin
5,000, oh, pumpkin pie too. Oh, as soon as he hit his 5,000 hole, he dug. Whoever was the first in chat to put what that item was won a detector, and Miss Sarah was the recipient of that. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
A
Thank
major
you.
accomplishment.
I'm still a little overwhelmed by that, really, because I think that was the first thing I've ever won in my life, and that was a pretty big thing to win. So
Yeah.
and but yeah, I'm very grateful for that, because not only was it a wonderful gift in and of itself, but then it sort of opened up even more people to me, and that's really one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this in the first place, was to get to know people and have people within the same community as me, same interest and same hobby. So I'm appreciative on many levels. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I beat you out, but not sorry at the same time.
That's okay. Now that gives me another sister I can detect with now,
That's
so,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
Brett even says when you get to dig together eventually, he might even just call you Savannah.
That's fine. That is fine, Cliff. You can call me Savannah. I'd be up for that. That's I also don't have the chat up, so if anybody says anything, please just let me know. I don't have it open. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will.
Hey,
Mark
Edward Elliott.
Edward Elliott. Hello. How are you? Oh yeah. I've seen him over in Grandma Kelly's. I appreciate the kind words, but no, let's not get carried away. Okay.
Hey,
yes,
Mark,
guys,
now detector.
if y'all have a question for Sarah, please feel free to put it in the chat. Put big QQQs in front of it so that Rick or I will catch that, and so that we can get to know Sarah better. Sarah, in the beginning, did you think that getting that detector was going to, that it came with so many strings attached to this big old family?
No. No, but I'm very happy for that. I really am, because like I said, so when I started the YouTube channel, one of the main reasons I wanted to was to have more people to talk to about this hobby, because I know a total of 0 people in the real world, so to speak, that do this hobby, and so this was a way for me to connect with people. And then I also I learned a lot from people before I even got my first detector. I learned a lot on YouTube from people, and that really was kind of my saving grace. So I kind of wanted to give back in that way, if that makes sense. Like, to put out videos for people who are learning. Yeah.
Lucinda wants to know, what area are you from?
So I live in the Shenandoah Valley, which is it's in Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains area, and I'm just sort of right in the middle of 2 different ranges. So that's why they call it the valley here. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. I've lived here majority of my life, but I actually grew up in northern Iowa, pretty close to Minnesota, actually. So it's very cold. Here it's a lot better in the wintertime. But I've lived here since I was 14, so it's a while. Let's just say that it's been a while.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area.
I have cousins that live down around what is it, Galax, Virginia and stuff, down around the Blue Ridge Parkway and stuff, and it is a very beautiful area.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Rig Rag wants to know what got you into detecting.
Who was that asked that?
Really, Rat.
Oh, thanks, Rat. Good question. So it was actually maybe 5 or 6 years ago that I started thinking about it. When I was a kid, I people detecting, you know, on the beach or whatever, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And then when I, you know, about 5 years ago, I started thinking about, oh, that would be fun. And I looked into it and realized you needed, you know, potentially a license and you needed to get permissions and all these things. And it really, I wasn't sure about it. And I thought, oh, I can't do this. I don't have property I can go detect on.
Right.
But I started, like I said, I started watching YouTube videos to just understand the hobby a bit more. And it took me years. I watched a lot of YouTube and a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of people to understand, even like, I think magnet fishing was the first thing I really actually saw on someone's channel. I thought that was pretty cool. And so I just kind of studied and I learned and I absorbed a lot. And then one day I just sort of said, I'm getting a detector. I'm doing it. And really it came at a really good time of my life because I was in a pretty bad place. Probably the lowest of my life. And so to have this outlet was, like I said, it was kind of a saving grace for me. Because it got me out. It got me moving around. It's a time where you can be out and you really can't think of anything other than those tones and the sounds from the detector and, you know, digging a hole. So when I needed to kind of get myself out of my head, especially a couple years ago, or not, I guess I've been detecting for maybe a year and a half, actually. So when I first started, I needed that as a kind of a way to get outside of my head. And it really has changed my life. It's been this constant thing that I've been able to rely on in a way, you know. So, and I love doing the research on things that I find too, because so it doesn't just end with finding the item. Then you get to research it and you get to clean it and all that stuff too. So I love it.
Exactly. I noticed there'll be some days that I've had it. I'm ready to explode. And I call it, I go out and I stab the dirt, you know? And so sometimes you just take out your anger and your, you know, or your, you know, whatever's, your anxieties and all that stuff. You just take it out on that dirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's just, it's a time where it's just for you, really. Unless you're detecting with other people, which I think would be a lot of fun as well, because I just haven't had that opportunity. Yeah.
Well, I'm a firm believer that anytime you're out in nature, you're connecting with nature. You kind of ground yourself.
Hey, Madison.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And so I honestly, I mean, there'll be days that even if I ain't got nothing else to do, I will just get barefooted and walk through the yard just to ground myself. You know,
I agree with that. Yep. there is
And
something
sometimes
about
it's
it.
just a reminder.
Hey,
Yeah.
Relic.
Sometimes it's just a reminder
Hey,
I'm on this
Randy.
side of the dirt, so it's a good day. You know?
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And
I work a job where I sit all day. I sit about 9 hours a day, you know, and so to be able to get moving and outside and to have that outlet is really important. I don't get a ton of time to do it at the end of the day, but it is important for me to do it.
right.
Yeah, it's nice to get outside for sure.
Oh, I am so with you on that one, girl. I understand that
Yeah.
completely.
And I
Miss
think
Stephanie,
no, go
go
ahead. I was gonna say I think a
Miss,
lot of people feel that way.
yeah, you know, it's yeah. I think that's why this community kind of can relate to each other
Yeah.
because it's more than just a hobby for people.
Yeah.
It's more, it's not just a way of life. It's a way of coping. It is a way of distracting yourself,
Hey, Flow Farms.
getting away from, the everyday norm, and then getting connected with like-minded people, that
Yeah.
are there to support you no matter what, you know.
Yeah, I was
So,
actually thinking the same thing today. I thought, it feels like more than just a hobby for me. It's just, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's more than just a hobby.
right.
Yeah, so I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's either most people think of it's either a hobby or it's work, but they don't realize that it could be a chain link, a link in the chain between the two, a link to other people, a link to other activities, a link to a better state of mind.
Yep.
Hey,
And that's the way I look at it. It's just, it's like a link. It's something that just ties us all together.
Hey, Tom Rowley.
I absolutely agree with that. Yep.
Hey, Joe.
I really do.
And Miss Stephanie wants to ask, what
Yes.
is the best way to start metal detecting?
Well, just do it. I mean, just do it. Get yourself a little familiar. You don't have to be, that's a thing too. You don't have to be an expert. I don't think it's too late to do this hobby, and I don't think it's too early to do it either. Because children can do it, and anybody, any aged person can do it. So just get out there and learn a little bit, but you don't have to be an expert in it to do it. I started, I spent years watching YouTube videos before I did it, but not everybody needs to do that. And
Yeah.
I started with equipment that I thought I needed to start with, and it wasn't bad. It was good, but I actually I didn't start with a larger shovel. I just had my little hand shovel. I dug that way for a long time, and I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. Run. So get yourself a decent shovel. Mine weighs about, I think it's 1.5 pounds. So it's not a hefty shovel, but it's one that I don't have to kneel on the ground to dig. My wrists used to be like broken in half at the end of the time. So get yourself a substantial shovel to dig your hole, and that'll be a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, I think anybody can start. You can start by just going out into your yard. If you don't have a yard, find someone who does. I mean, my approach was I found a place to detect before I even bought a detector, because I wanted to be sure that I had a place to go, because I didn't have a yard at the time. So I wanted a place to go before I bought it, invested a lot of money into a detector. But you don't have to do that either, So Yeah. Just get out
See,
there.
when we started, you know, like I said, our channel's of family adventures. It's any of the crazy little things that we do on any given day. And we doing the magnet fishing and all that stuff. And I said, I was watching, you know, metal detecting, and a friend of mine says, "Oh, we've got an old one. We never use it." Said, "I don't even know where the headsets are to it. Would you like to borrow it?" And I'm like, "Well, sure." You know,
Give me
and
that.
she's like, "It's just a little Tractor Supply, you know, detector." And I'm like, "Well, okay, a starter detector for a starter person, you know, hey." And we used that one. And matter of fact, matter of fact, my neighbor borrowed it because he wanted to get into it.
Yep.
So I loaned it to him, and we were able to get. I love my Xterra Pro, you know, because that's what I'm comfortable with. And then Rick was blessed enough; he was gifted lately. He got a Simplex.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was a
okay.
Simplex. And so now we both have a detector, so we can do the battle of the, you know, the detectors and stuff. But we, you know, we can always get out together. And that's what I tell people: you don't have to start out with a $2,000 detector.
No.
Because if you don't like it, or it takes you a while to learn it, 9 out of 10 times it's going to sit in a corner.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I think that is true for some people. I do. And depending on your schedule, depending on what your life is like, you might not have time to invest in it. I went the opposite way though. I actually because I spent years watching stuff and I just knew I'd like it. It really is like a hobby for me. It's a thing that I knew I'd enjoy. So my thought process was, okay, I've got this amount of money that I can put towards it, and what can that get me? That's a decent, you know, machine that might get me good results right off the bat. That would help me feel.
Right. And you don't want to get something that, like, you know, you're one of these people, you know, we make it out once a month. You make it out once a day or whatever. So you use yours more than what we would.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you don't want to get something that you're going to grow out of within a couple of months, you know.
Right. Right.
You want to get something to where it handles where you're at.
Yeah.
But it also where you envision yourself going.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And that's why I mean, I really think it really varies for everybody. And I don't think there's one way to get started. I don't think there's one way to do it. I think if you have an interest in it, like you're saying, I mean, but you're not sure if you can invest a lot of money, then start out with a machine that's decent, but that you're not having to invest tons of money in.
Right.
Let's get started. Yeah. Good question.
and also too, if you're lucky enough to know somebody that does do that, they may have an extra detector that you can go detecting with them and borrow theirs to see if it is something that you would like.
Absolutely.
You know. So yeah, I mean, but like you said, the biggest thing in doing it is doing it, getting out and doing it. You know.
Oh yeah. Yep. It's just like anything, it takes practice. So if you think that you're going to go out there and be able to find a silver or gold coin or whatever right away, you may or may not be able to. I mean, on my first hunt, I found my very first hunt, I found a 1903 Indian head penny, and I just about cried. I just about cried because I just went, oh, this is exactly what, you know, this is what I wanted to do with this. And somehow, you know, I lucked out, and because I think it was luck that I happened to find it. But you might get out there and find junk to start with, but finding the junk is what helps you get to the good stuff. You have to be able to learn how to discriminate those tones to be able to pick out the good stuff.
Right.
So it's just learning. It takes practice, like you said, for sure.
Yeah. So that's it. Detecting is a great hobby in the world, period. Rat says, yeah, detecting is the greatest hobby in the world, period. And then somebody down here, I was looking for it, and somebody said, I'm trying to find it again. Dropped and forgotten, says it's like therapy. And
It is.
Rat
Yep.
says, amen, Randy, like a therapist that gives you prizes occasionally.
Yeah, instead of a lollipop, you get an Indian head penny. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. That's
so
the
true.
truth.
Yeah, it is. I think it is like a form of therapy for a lot of people, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I really do. I think therapy has its place, but not everybody feels comfortable with that. So if there's something else you can get out and do that keeps you, because I think mental health is really important, and this is a way that I've been able to help myself. So yeah, it is.
I am the world's worst to preach mental health stability and awareness and stuff, because I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah.
And like Bad Ideal says, dig every beep. You never know what you will find, especially as a beginner. Like I would consider myself still a beginner, even though, whatever, but I still have not learned all the tones and all that stuff. So until I can be as good as these other guys and say, oh, that's a 50. Oh, I know that sound. That sounds a silver. Until I can get there, I'm going to dig every tone. And then you've also seen them where they'll dig one tone.
As long as it's a strong signal, I mean, why not dig it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then they may I've seen them where they think, oh, this is just a penny, but underneath that was something else.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yep.
Madison Maine, go ahead.
Sometimes you have to just listen to the tones and ignore the VDIs on the screen. Like with this new detector that I have now, the Nocta Legend. I don't know all the numbers yet. I haven't learned those, so I'm just going with, okay, does that sound good? I'll just dig it and see what it is. And I actually think I've found more interesting things that way. They might not be things to cash in or anything, but they're interesting, and I probably would have passed over them with my other detector.
Exactly. And learning, watching other channels, you may see somebody swinging the same type of detector, and they're saying, okay, this number is this sound, and then when you're out there next time, you say, oh yeah, it is. So maybe help you learn, your tones and everything. Madison Maine wants to know, says, who is your favorite YouTube influencer or other than Madison Maine?
Yes, Madison, my favorite of all time. But seriously, so when I first got into watching YouTube videos, at the time he wasn't as popular. I mean, he had a pretty substantial channel, but I think now he has like 1 million. And I found him because of magnet fishing. I saw his video and I just put it on. It's Bondi Treasure Hunter, and I really loved his stuff, but he actually went detecting with this guy who does Thames, River Thames in London, some mudlarking, and his channel's Sci-Finds. And I don't know, there's something about his channel. I just absolutely love it because he's very much about the history, and I've learned so much. So he does he does both. He does detecting, and then he goes to the Thames, and he just will sift through the shore, and he finds things from medieval times and Roman coins, that kind of thing, up to modern trash. So Sci-Fi Thames Mudlark, I think, is his channel. I actually, he has an Etsy store, and I bought a bottle from him. It's an old cobalt blue poison bottle, and then I bought little clay pipes from him too that he found. So I think some on the Thames and stuff like that. So I have found his channel really interesting. And I've learned a lot. So I'd say he's probably my favorite.
Yeah. Stephanie said, thanks for the info. I've got a metal detector already and a shovel. So basically saying, just do it. Awesome advice. Thank you, Sarah. And that's what it boils down to, is giving yourself, I always called it giving myself permission to get out and do it, because I'm the one that's always going, man, I should be in there doing them dishes, or man, I could really do some laundry, or I could do this. I should be doing this. So I would have to give myself permission to take time for myself.
Hey, Danny D.
I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, because I have before I got into this, I had a tendency to, I was very like, okay, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. And now I sort of don't give myself, sometimes it's hard because I know I need to get things done, but sometimes I don't give myself an option. I have to get out, and go do it. So,
Right. Oh, speaking of right here, Mr. Van City Adventures, Mr. Daryl, he's been with us from the beginning. We started out YouTubing late nights with the talk shows, basically. And he went live recently. He may be on his way back. He should be back by now. From Costa Rica. Hello. Yeah. TBH here, crap, whatever you want to call him. Local parks are a good place to go if it is allowed. Some cities forbid it while others don't care, as long as you replace the plugs. So it's always a good thing. Now, I went to our courthouse, talked to the sheriff, said, hey, what's allowed, what's not allowed,
Yeah. That's smart because, when I was getting started, I thought, well, I've seen people go to public parks. Like, why can't I go to a public park? Let me look into that. And my city does not allow that. So I think going somewhere and actually talking to someone about it, if they say no, they say no. But you never know. I think that's part of it. You have to be a little fearless when it comes to asking people if you can detect on their property. And just know that they might say no, or they might not respond. I reached out to a local church that I think it's the oldest church in our city. And I reached out to them. I never heard back. And that's just that's the name of the game sometimes, but I've also gotten some really cool permissions as well. So just the way it is.
Right. Rat's going here. Parks, beaches, Civil War, home sites are almost like separate hobbies. They are so different. Yeah. Yes, that is the truth. Guys, I see everybody coming in and stuff. I'm sorry. I try to catch you and I'll try to wave at you, and Rick's trying to say hi to everybody. So I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry if I talk over Rick while he's saying hi to everyone. So sorry about that too.
That's all right. That's all right, hon. Don't worry about that. Somebody here, and I can't pronounce that. Something other Nestor. Well, I will say Ali, A-L-I, whatever. What is the most memorable thing that you have found?
Oh, that's a really good question. I have all my stuff like down here ready to go. It's like right in front of me. But actually, oh, that's a really tough one. Most memorable. Okay, let me see if I can reach it. Where is it? I have this little so I have this pocket watch here in this little case. Now it's not that old. It's probably, I think it's like 40s, maybe 30s. So it's not like the oldest thing I've ever found, but I was just like, this was one of my bucket list things to find, you know, a pocket watch. I wanted to find like any piece of a pocket watch. And this one, you can see the face on it, some of it. It's weird though, because it actually came out of the ground and the numbers are sort of upside down when it comes to where the winder is. So I never could quite figure that out, because you can see 6 is down here and 5 and 7. So it's kind of interesting in that way. But then I've got the back as well. So it's pretty complete, as you know, it doesn't have the glass on it anymore, but it's pretty complete. I was thrilled to find that. And I learned a lot about it too, because there's this one's called a New Haven dollar watch. So it's not that expensive. But I just find it really interesting that I came to find it. It was really random too. That was like one of the only things I found that day. So it was meant to be, I think. I've got some other ones too. I mean, I could talk about the things that I've found. I think that first Indian head penny was really memorable, because I've got this little case. I actually showed this in one of my videos. I have this case that I keep my coins in, and it's got this little kickstand out the back, and then you can see through the back there too. So I've got my Indian head penny in there, and yeah, that was very memorable, because it was the first real old thing I found. So thanks for the question. That was a good one.
Stephanie also says that she can't stay long.
Oh, that's okay.
But does the sound waves determine the metal you find? Do you know how all that works? Or
sound waves? I think what you're trying to ask is, do the tones determine the different types of metal? Is that essentially? I'm gonna go with that. And yeah, it does. You know, you can get a lower tone on your metal detector if it's more potentially junk, maybe like aluminum, or oftentimes lower tones will be like foil, that kind of stuff. However, the tricky one that I've had to really practice is I got out there at one point and had to kind of train myself to actually go for those tones, because those can be gold as well.
right.
So, you know, the higher tones tend to be better. But yeah, it can determine what type of metal you might be digging. Actually, let me see if I can get this one too. This one's pretty memorable as well. Speaking of which, I went out specifically and told myself to dig lower tones one day to see if I could dig up some kind of gold, you know, and I was willing to put myself in a place where I was going to dig a bunch of crap. But I found this. This is like the first, I think it's gold gilded. It's gilt on there. And you can't see it very well, but it's a United States Navy. Honestly, I thought it was a ring, but it barely fits on my pinky. So I'm not really sure what it is, but I loved that I found United States Navy something, whether it's a ring or like could be like a neckerchief slide or something like that. So yeah, the different tones do indicate different
later, Bill.
metal, but you might not be able to pinpoint it exactly. But yes, it does.
Hey, Rocky Mountain Prospector.
Yeah. ALA216 has a question here. I'll call him Al. Okay. Do
Hey,
you have any funny or interesting stories from detecting?
funny or interesting? I'm trying. Sorry, let me think about it. Funny or interesting? I mean, anytime I'm out, I usually get stopped by someone. And so I've had interesting conversations with people. I'll say, I've had some interesting conversations with people who want to
See you
learn
later, Stephanie.
and ask. So those times have been interesting. I did have a time where I was pretty stupid on one of the hunts I went on. Well, I went out into I was in a storm at one point. That was kind of stupid. I think I can't remember if you said funny. That wasn't really funny, but it was fun. Then there was another time I was detecting on some property that had goats, and there was an electric fence that was around the goats. And I've worked with animals. I've worked with goats. I've worked with sheep. I've worked with cows, pigs. I mean, I have worked with animals and I've worked with electric fences. So I wasn't afraid. I was like, I want to go right in there and I'm not going to let these goats stop me. But it was kind of stupid because I had all my gear. And so I was throwing my gear over the electric fence. And then I got something to kind of hold the electric fence down. But on my way over, I tripped, and then I kind of got tangled up in the electric fence. So luckily, there was no one but the goats that saw it. So at least there's that. And I did have one of the goats come near me, and his horns got kind of tangled up into my gear, into my bag. So it was a whole thing. And and soon after I left. So yeah, I'd say that was probably the funniest time, but it was also very stupid. So don't throw your stuff over an electric fence just to get to some metal.
Yes, be careful of electric fences for sure.
Yeah, don't get
Bad Idea Lab Joe, he asked, where do your scraps go? Your junk finds, stuff like that. Where do they go?
Oh Lord. You had to ask that, didn't you? It's like everywhere. because I get done with a hunt and I'm like, I bring in the best stuff, and then in my car I've got all this pile of rusty crap. Some of it I have, thrown away, obviously. And if I can get around to it, I'll chuck it. I thought about saving it and scrapping it, and making some money off of that. But I'm like, how much could I really make off of what I find? A lot of it's rusty, and I've never done that before. So generally it piles up and then I gotta get rid of it. So, but really good question. I know some people scrap it and they do make money off of it though.
Right. Now, Rocky Mountain Prospector, did you give him a jacket?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I went in, I thought he didn't have a jacket. I went in to give him a jacket. Yes. Okay, he's got a jacket. As long as he's got a jacket, I'm happy. It will be a blast. I had fun last year. They're talking about going to something other. Okay. And see, Relic Rat said he's got a bucket of stuff and he's recycled and he's even give stuff to artists. Now we've
Oh,
recently got us a smelting furnace so that we can
I
take
heard
our
you talking
aluminum and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
so we can melt that down.
that's really
And
neat.
yeah, yeah.
What do you plan to do with it though? You're gonna melt it down, and then what do you plan to do with it?
Well, like the copper and stuff, I eventually want to get a mold that has our channel logo on it.
Ooh, that's
And make
cool.
our own copper rounds that we can give away.
Yeah,
But like the aluminum and stuff like that, melt it down, gives it better to store it to where I get enough stored up, then I can take a chunk of it in and whatever,
yeah, cool.
And stuff like that. I just figured it's easier to store stacks of little ingots than stacks of crushed cans.
Yes, smart.
So dropped and forgotten here. So yeah, copper, brass, he's got it all. Yeah. So see, and that's what I can melt it all down except the lead. And so yeah, but that's another little hobby. Woo! Hobby that I like too. See, Rat says he likes, or Drop says he likes that idea about the melting. Yeah, see, copper's $5. Is it $5 an ounce now? So yeah, if that's what that is, my recycler will not take homemade ingots. Find you another recycler. Because metal's metal. They have a way of testing it, seeing what it is and how what it's So yeah, they just don't want to go the extra mile. What has been your favorite hunt?
Gosh, wow, that's hard. That's really hard. That is really hard. There's a place that I've gone mostly to detect, and it's been the majority of the hunting that I've done. I've done little places here and there, but this has been probably the most hours I've spent. And when I first got started, I spent time in a certain, I just sort of moved around the property, but I didn't know much about it. And then I got into, I wondered about where the building used to be on the property, because I didn't really have anyone to really talk to about it. So I got into researching old maps. So I pulled up an old map of the area, and then I overlaid it on top of a current map. And I realized where the building was on the property, and I hadn't actually made it to that piece of the property yet. So I would say the most memorable was that hunt that I went there, and I went, okay, I'm gonna go out here, and I'm just gonna see if anything is different in this area. And it really was. I started pulling up belt buckles and mason jar lids and harmonica reeds and harmonica reed plates and all sorts of stuff like that I was not finding before. So that I would say is the most memorable for me, because I proved to myself that my research was good, and that researching those old maps really pay off.
Yeah, so that's what I want to learn to do, is researching the old maps and stuff. I just think that gives you a better way of pinpointing certain items that you may want to find.
Absolutely. Even if the old map doesn't say exactly what the building was, you can at least see, like the one that I was looking at had just a black little square, and I could see where that spot was on the map, and I went, okay, that's in this section of the property. I'm just going to head that way. And sure
Right.
enough, you know, I've found dump sites and stuff like that since then. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was watching one of the videos I was watching, and Rick was watching the other one today, about where he was out just walking through the woods and found the old license plates.
Yeah.
You know?
That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that same property, and I just decided, you know, I decided I'm just gonna leave my metal detector to the side right now, and I'm just gonna walk, and I'm gonna use my eyes because I know there's stuff in here, and I know that there were dump sites in here because I would find pieces of glass and stuff. So I just walked and I used my eyes, and I suddenly saw this piece of metal sticking out of the ground. And sure enough, it was the first license plate I found in that little area. So yeah, which led to another one. So and some bottles and other things there. So yeah.
Yeah, the guys are giving some great advices. The surface of the ground can tell you a lot about it too. You know, I would picture like, okay, you know, if it's kind of like a domed property, okay, you'd want your house on the highest part of the ground, you know.
Yeah.
And then also they said, you know, try to find where they would park their ride, their buggies or their horses or their cars or whatever. And then when you're looking for pieces of glass or pottery, that's more of a homestead style find that you could find.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I have
So
found a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of pottery, a lot of glass. Like I said, mason jar lids, mason jars. So yeah, but that's good
so like
advice.
in our area, we, you know, which the farm that we hunt on is basically my great grandparents', or it was my great grandparents'. I knew about where the house was at, but I didn't know that there was a previous barn, and you know, other than one that's already standing there. And the uncle was telling me about it. But when we were digging the different areas of the property, you could find, like I said, around the house was, you know, the typical stuff you would find at a home site.
Yeah.
And then out in the field more, you would find, I found, you know, the double-headed axe and stuff like that up where the barns would be, you know, or up around where that stuff was at. So that, you know.
Yeah. It's true, because it's not all going to be the exact same stuff exactly. Depends on which building. Yep.
Yeah. So, but we're coming up on our hour, and I'm trying my hardest to start keeping it to an hour so that I don't overrun Papa Roush's. But is there something that you would like our community to know about you? You know,
Hey, 5 Mile.
Well, I'll say, just as a parting thing, you know, not necessarily about me specifically, but just that I'm very grateful and very thankful for to know you all, to be able to chat with you and learn from you. I think that's really important for me. I love being able to ask questions, and thank you for just welcoming me in and making me feel a part of things. I love learning. I love getting to know new people. So really it's a blast. Yeah.
Yeah. My dog was going nuts over here. He's like, I got one sleeping here on the table going, what is going on? She's my little diva. And the others
Bella.
running around the house. Yeah, that's my Miss Bella. So yeah, but we do, we welcome you with open arms. I am so excited getting to know you, and I can't wait to watch your growth.
Yeah.
As a YouTuber and also a detectorist. And as a person, because like you said, it takes nerve to ask people. It takes, you know, and in 3 to 5 years, you may be the one out there knocking on every door going, hello, you know.
Yep.
So we can watch you grow as the person too.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. I think also, you know, you have to be willing to look a little silly too. You know, because most people, you got all this gear on and stuff, and you might feel a little awkward, but just go and do it, So
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to growing my channel too, to be able to connect with people.
Right, exactly. And Rat says, please tell Sarah, great interview. So yeah, it has been.
Cliff.
We love getting to know you,
Yeah.
And like I said, I guarantee you, Rat, Dropped and Forgotten, any of these guys, anybody in here, if you have a question, ask them.
Oh yeah,
They'll be glad to help you out. Ohio River History, here's another one. Big supporter of the metal detecting, or to say the treasure fam. And if you have questions, whether it be YouTube, metal detecting, whatever, we'll do the best that we can to help you out. And like I said, if I don't know, I'll point you in the direction of somebody that might,
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That's great. So thank you.
So yeah, so I appreciate everything. And but
I was Riddles, Randy Riddle.
Yeah, Riddles Relic. He says, "Me too. I'm here."
Well, thank you.
See, that's one thing I love about this community.
Yeah.
Dropped and Forgotten says he runs a legend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah. See, that's what would help. Somebody that runs your actual machine.
Yeah.
That way, you're on the same, not just in the same chapter, you're on the same page.
Yeah.
And so,
and Cliff has been really great in answering my questions. And I mean, I probably annoy him at this point with how many questions I have, but maybe not. I don't know. But he's been great answering the questions that I have. Never seems to mind at all. And I'm so grateful for that, because I've learned a lot from him already about the machine and just about detecting in general. So yeah, great resource.
Yeah, that's one thing I have learned about this community. They love sharing their knowledge and passing on through the traditions, and the hobby. Yeah. And so I don't think one of them. Well, put it this way, no one that I hang out with would ever say, "Girl, quit bothering me. You just go do it yourself." They say, "Go do it. I've showed you how." Trust yourself, but they're not going to turn their back on you,
Right.
If they do, let me know. I'll just do.
Will do. You'll be the first to know. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just go bipolar on them and just let them have it. Anyway, guys, we're going to jump off of here. I pinned Sarah's link at the top of the chat. Now, like I said, in this vertical form, the link may not work, but it's also in the description of the chat. So go check that out. Go hit up her channel, guys. You'll love it. And like I said, watching her grow is going to be a joy. I'm going to slap that dog. Sounds like he's tap dancing over there. And
well, thank you. Thank you both for having me on. I'm very grateful.
Oh, honey, I'm honored that you joined us. I really am. So, and then next week, guys, is usually our members night. In the beginning, before we all started, I gave out another 5 memberships. Next week will be our members giveaway. And everybody knows we usually have 2 drawings. We celebrate our members and have a giveaway for them. And then we usually have a giveaway for the members in the chat, because you all are family and we celebrate you all. We don't consider anybody any better than anybody else except me. I'm better than Rick, but
Yeah.
But also because of scheduling and everything, next week we are going to have a special guest on board with us, and I'm so excited to have him on our channel, guys. Next week, here to celebrate you guys, we are going to have the Viking god himself, Mr. Kratos. Benny from Kratos Magnetics will be here on our chat with everybody just to celebrate you guys, just to hang out, get to know everybody. So I'm looking forward to that one also. But like I said, most importantly, I look forward to getting to spend this time with you all. Because like Sarah was saying before, we all need that connection. It is human nature to connect with people. And I need that in my life. And so I'm so glad that I've got you guys to rely on. And it has made me and Rick better people. It has made us better YouTubers, better detectorists. And it's made us a better couple. So we thank each and every one of you guys. And I know I'm getting all sappy and all that crappy stuff, but I am just, oh, wait a minute, I'm hitting buttons again. So we're all just excited to be here, and I will see you guys next week. Hang out for just a second, Sarah, after I say goodbye. And guys, the redirect should take you on over to see Papa Roush. Tell him the crazy train's headed his way, and I'll be there soon. See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.